How's it going, Yankee fans? My name is Alex, my co-host here, Nick Nielsen. We are drinking heavy after this recent loss. I mean, good God, I wasn't sure if I was going to go for the wine or the bleach after this one. It was an absolute shit show. The Yankees had like 15 hits, but at the end of the day, the pitching has just fallen off a cliff, man. Ever since Michael King went down, even a little bit before that, right before the All-Star break, the starting rotation has been abysmal. I mean, Frankie Montas, we're going to discuss his first start with the Yankees. Why I'm not really worried, kind of the struggles he went through today, but the bullpen has looked just horrendous, bro. Like, I haven't seen this much inconsistency, and we just brought in Efros, Trevino, both those guys, especially Efros, was doing well this year. He just gave up a mammoth blast to freaking who was it?
DeJong.
DeJong. I mean, come on, 12 runs to St. Louis. Look, they're a good team, but 12 runs is unacceptable, especially when you're scoring 9 your own. Like, the bullpen was abysmal. Efros gave up 3 earned runs in an inning. Albert Abreu gave up 2 earned runs. Loaizaga has looked like a shell of himself. He looks like just terrible this season to be mostly. This entire team just needs an uplift in the pitching department. I don't know what's going on with them. It can't be fatigue. There's no way every single player they have is fatigued right now. What is your take on this? What is going on with them, and how do you turn this around?
There is no real take. It's shitty. This team is just not really good right now. We had 15 hits today, yeah, but no home runs the entire series, except for DJ at the very end of the game, a consolation piece. DJ is also the best second baseman in baseball, no questions asked. He's insane. That guy, through all this negativity that's been happening these past couple of games during this 5-game losing streak, he has still done very, very well individually. So credit to DJ. We'll probably have a little breakdown on him tomorrow or Tuesday this week on FY. I've been meaning to dive into how good he's been. I mean, the dude's been one of the most valuable players in all of baseball. It was a painful series. The entire series, the Yankees could seemingly get nothing going their way. Today, they took the lead, lost it. Took the lead, lost it. Tied it, lost it. And then they just couldn't come back. It was a rough week of baseball for the Yankees, to put it simply. And Montas, I'm not too worried about at all. The dude's had a very, very strenuous week. This is also his first game back since the 26th, so he was pitching on 12 days rest. In that game, he only threw 5 innings, and then the start before that, he only threw 3. And then before that, the previous start he made was July 3rd with the shoulder injury. So Montas, I'm not worried about, and he's also battling some off-the-field stuff as well with the passing of his mother-in-law, and that can never be easy. So I take away nothing from this. He still has great stuff. Everything looked good. He was just nibbling and then gave up a couple of big hits to a couple of really good hitters. And then when you walk like DeJong and Yadier Molina, what are we doing there? It's just the same old with this team. Why are you walking the bad hitters so you can face the good ones? It's the complete opposite. What the hell is this? And I understand that the hitting isn't the problem. It's pitching. But why do we still have the little fucking carousel from hell of IKF and Marwin Gonzalez at shortstop? We have 2 guys in AAA that play shortstop in our top 10 prospects. What the hell? Something needs to bring this team together and spark them up a little bit, because they have been sluggish since the deadline. It has been bad. They're 0-5 in the Gallo era, in the post-Joey Gallo era and post-Jordan Montgomery era. There are just things that they're doing well still, yes. The offense 1 through 9 put together some really quality ABs. But then again, there's also a lot of slap singles that we ended up stranding on base 7 times. So it's the Yankees need to put the ball in the seats. I don't know how much longer we can go without Rizzo and Stanton, without some sort of reinforcements from AAA. This is just the lineup yesterday and even today were oof. Josh Donaldson batting in the 3-hole. Are you fucking kidding me? The guy that's watching 90-mile-an-hour fastballs down the middle of the plate. He struck out 3 times today. Again, it's just, I don't know. I'm hating on it, and I know I am, and I'm being a hater today. Call me Tommy Smokes, whatever. Call me Frank the Tank Fleming. It's just fucking terrible. I think that they're still really, really good. Don't get me wrong. They're still really, really good. But you're now starting to see some of the kind of worries we had at the beginning of the year when we drop a series or look kind of out of sorts. And they're starting to occur on a more frequent basis now. Pitching's got to tighten up. Matt Blake needs to fucking inspire the troops.
I mean, look, man, what we're seeing right now is a lengthy cold. We're on a 5-game losing streak right now. Good teams, great teams, lose a game or two. That's okay. You know, sometimes you get swept by the Oakland Athletics like the Houston Astros did, but they bounce right back and they snap out of it quickly. This team, for some reason, the players, individual players, go on monthly cold streaks. Aaron Hicks is ass.
Like today, even today, Hicks got 3 hits and 2 of them were like under 60 miles an hour. I think it was 42 and 27 miles an hour.
They were lucky hits. Let's be real. They were lucky hits. And then he bobbled that transition to the throw that he couldn't get Yadier Molina going out to, like, we're talking
why would you not throw that? It's Yachty. It's fucking Yachty.
And now Brian Cashman, you're like, this is why I went out and got Harrison Bader, because Aaron Hicks legitimately cannot fucking play baseball.
No, he's a left fielder. That's what he is. Like, his arm's still not bad. Like, he almost gunned down Brendan Donovan. Like, that's good. Have it in left field, I'm fine with that, you know? Like, he's a good left fielder this year. But in center field, you look at the stats, you look at the eye test, and he fails miserably. He doesn't have a good read on the ball, clearly. His range is not there anymore. His arm's all right. Yeah, like I think he still has a pretty good arm. But also half the time, it's just where the fuck are you throwing that to? And then, yeah, his transition, he doesn't get a good read on it. He bobbled it. He had some good at-bats today, so I can't be too mad at him. But again, like you said, before today, he was 0 for 32. Like, and then last month, he was really good. And then if you look at his May, he OPS 400. Like, the team needs more consistency all around. And when Bader comes back, hopefully next month, I guess, I don't know. It seems like he's trying to push for a next month return, which is awesome. That'll be huge to put him in center field. Just to say, thank God we have someone that can play center field and isn't a 6'7" demigod in his contract year that just has to pick up even more slack. Like, that's the biggest win from getting Bader. But going into St. Louis this weekend, I had high hopes. I was like, okay, I'm not too thrilled about the Monty trade. Don't get me wrong. Like, that was stupid as hell. But I'm coming around on it a lot now as the days go by. Like, Monty pitched well against us, and he's still a good pitcher. But if the Yankees didn't believe he was part of their playoff rotation, there's no reason to hang on to him. And they upgraded a position of need and their weakest position defensively, even with IKF's fucking routine botches. I think that we saw against St. Louis a lot of the things that we worried about. Pitchers walking too many guys, throwing wrong pitch sequences. Like today, Loaizaga got dinged because he threw a changeup in a 1-2 count. Like, what are you doing, dude? That's not your pitch to go to there. And he's also just struggling to find the zone, find any sort of consistency and feel with his pitches. Like the Ron Marinaccio optioning down, I was absolutely livid on Twitter last night. I was absolutely livid. It made no sense to me. The guy's been a phenomenal reliever. But I heard like all the reasonings behind it. And I will once again still say, if you went out and got 2 relievers, knowing that you're going to have a problem with the relievers in terms of fitting them on the roster, why'd you go out and get 2 relievers? And then option down the best reliever in your bullpen right now. Like, Wandy did a great job tonight. Efros, I'm not worried about, but like, dude, it's like when you throw 91 like over the middle of the plate, you're going to get dinged. And that's what happened. And it was Paul DeJong. Like, what the hell? Paul DeJong on the season has like a 41 WRC plus. And then against the Yankees, it's like 290, 300. Like, I don't know what it is. Something in the fucking dugout just inspires him to beat the Yankees. Maybe it's because he saw Bader and he's like, wait a minute.
Maybe.
Trade me.
Yeah, this okay, so let's jump over to Frankie Montas because I could go on all day about how poorly this team is playing, and we'll probably go on a little rant. We'll do a whole episode tomorrow discussing the issues this team is facing. We'll list them off in priority order and just what is causing so much pain internally for us right now. But Montas, you know, his stuff didn't look awful. First inning comes around, he gives up a couple of ground balls. You know, they punch in a run in the first inning, and that I wasn't too worried because I was like, okay, like the contact was weak. It wasn't that crazy. And then things get a little bit more dodgy for him. You know, he's coming on. His last start, I think, was on July 24th.
6th.
So 26th. So he hasn't pitched in a couple weeks, coming off the death of a family member. I get it. You know, this is his first outing back with the Yankees in the Yankee uniform.
Yeah.
It's not
and he had to travel to St. Louis, and he didn't even get to meet up with the team this week. He literally met with Trevino last night.
It's tough.
I give him absolute slack on this, 100%.
Yeah,
and he's a number 2. Like, we know Frankie Montas is a proven starting ace pitcher. Like, he did it in the fucking travesty that was Oakland for years. Even off steroids, he proved that it wasn't the steroids that was making him good. Like Frankie Montas, I'm not worried about him long term at all. He's going to slot in nicely. If I'm being honest, I'm a little bit more worried about Garrett Cole than I am Frankie Montas right now. Like you and Ryan talked a ton about Garrett Cole, and Ryan really kind of broke down like what's going on with his home runs, especially like with runners on, he's got like a 1.7 home run per nine, and it's like that is alarmingly bad for like crunch time clutch at bats that do damage. And today, Montas, the one thing I will say that I like to see from him was that he was throwing his splitter a lot. Like his splitter is absolutely fucking disgusting. So to see him, I think he threw it like 12, 13, maybe I could be a little bit over exaggerating that, but he threw it a lot. And some of the time it was a bit high and it's like, oh God. But like one of them got rocked because he threw it high. It was like, I think that was the double that he gave up in the first inning. But you can see the stuff is there and you can just look at how he pitches and know like, okay, it doesn't look like he's really getting phased. It just looks like he doesn't have it today. Like Montas wasn't up there throwing fucking fits or throwing stuff in the dirt or hitting batters. Like he hit one guy with the changeup in, and then he just kind of got batted around a little bit. But on the counterpart, Adam Wainwright pitched way worse than Frankie Montas. Like Wainwright gave up like 13 hits. Maybe not 13. He gave like 9. But like, and they just left him in there. Like Ollie just was like, screw it. Like you want to get the win, sure. And then they just had to pull him. So like Montas, definitely not the start to your Yankee career you'd want, you know? Obviously, no one wants to go out there and get pulled after 3 innings of work, giving up 6 runs. But next start will be a lot better. And I'm not worried about that. And I'm very confident in saying next start will be a lot better.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not worried about it. We saw a sinker. It was hitting 97, had a couple of wayward pitches that were kind of going inside a little bit, but his stuff looked good, man. Dropping out of the zone, a lot of weak contact. He had a couple of tough innings, but you know what? Like, I'm not overly worried. We've seen what he can do. I think the bigger focal points is Josh Donaldson is legit, like, might have peg legs.
I don't know why the fuck he's batting cleanup. Whose idea was that?
I've been saying
this the lineup and said, yeah, you know what this needs? Josh Donaldson batting 4th. Literally the spot that sees the most runners on is cleanup. That's why Pete Alonso has 7 million RBIs. But
I'd rather have Benintendi.
Like, those are the guys you want batting cleanup, not Josh Donaldson. God, and it's like I get the injury, so you have to kind of finagle the roster a little bit. But like you have 2 studs, and one of them just got hit in the hand with a pitch today, so he's like Oswald
Carpenter should be.
Yeah, Carpenter third today was the good move. I like that. He got
Glaber should be in 4th.
Robbed of 2 hits and that strike 3 with the worst performance I have ever seen.
I've never seen anything like that. I've never seen anything like that.
Needs to be cut from the league immediately. Like I complain about umps, you know, it's normal when you lose, whatever, or even when you win. But that was legitimately the worst performance I have ever seen from a man that is watching the game from 2 inches away. Yeah, what the hell was that? Both sides, terrible. Like I was surprised Marmo didn't get tossed. Everyone was going after him, and he just thinks he was good at his job. Like you know that he's going to have no repercussions or consequences from this. He'll probably just end up playing or going as the first base coach for the next game or first base ump for the next game, and they'll keep him out from umping for like a week, so that way it can kind of blow over. But that's a travesty. That's another episode as well. I don't know, dude. Today was a nightmare of a day for the Yankees organization. Like starting from last night with the Ron Marinaccio optioning was the first of many poor dominoes in a 24-hour span. Like I'm not hyped about this. Not hyped about this team at all right now. Like great guys still, great players, but someone needs to kick him in the ass or something. Like what's happening?
And you heard what Cashman said about IKF this morning.
Dude. That he's doing what we love and he's got that great defense.
He's playing Gold Glove defense. I'm like, you know what? You know what I really hate? How the Yankees are so reliant on analytics. They're so reliant on the numbers, but then they just like completely disregard some of them. Like they're IKF, like the numbers say he's a below average player defensively and offensively, but somehow Cashman, I think Cashman is more of like it's like a pride thing at a certain point. Like he thought that was going to be a good move, and he's like, I can't swallow that one. You know what I mean? But then you got like Oswald Peraza, who's dominating.
Winning games means more than acting like you made a great deal. Like at the end of the day, Cashman sticks by all of his moves regardless. So I wouldn't be shocked. He literally rode Joey Gallo to the end. He was like, I still believe we have a good hitter here. he was one of the biggest advocates and supporters of Joey Gallo. When we got him, I thought he had made the move of the deadline by getting Joey Gallo. From moving Ezekiel Duran and I believe like Glenn Otto and then one other guy. It's like, okay, like that's for Joey Gallo. And it didn't work out. But this is a different type of deal because with IKF, when he's in the lineup, there's literally only one or two outcomes when he's at the plate. A single, or if you're a garbage pitcher, a walk. And he walks like 5% of the time. So that's why I said if you're a garbage pitcher. But Peraza, Cabrera, even Tyler Wade, I know people are going to have an aneurysm hearing me say that again. All three of those guys are far better baseball players than this bum. And at this point, why is it that we're trying to prioritize keeping Marwin Gonzalez on this roster? He's played like 3 games since the All-Star break, and he's done nothing in all of them. He's like 3 for his last 30. Like we love to harp on Hicks' struggles, and it's mainly because he's in the lineup like every day. But with Marwin, he's been terrible. Like, why does he have a roster spot? And why are we trying to keep it so our young star prospects are in the minor leagues? And one of them, Oswald Peraza, got hit in the hand today by a pitch, and he got pulled, so they're reevaluating it. So now if it's like, okay, sick, like the whole thing is just poor mismanagement. And I don't get why they're so vehemently backing bad baseball players. Like, stop batting JD in the top half of the lineup. Stop giving IKF all this praise. And John Smoltz, don't think you can escape me. Dude, what do you mean? He's been doing everything you want, and he's been a fantastic signing for the Yankees. Are you fucking stupid? John Smoltz, I know he has a terrible bias against the Yankees naturally, and he is a bit of a rough listen. But, like, to go up there, and it's not just him, it's a lot of announcers and broadcasters, and just kind of pummel in the fact that IKF's good because he makes contact. When you look at the contact, the hard contact percentage, the barrel percentage, the max exit velocity, the slugging percentage, the expected slugging, the WOBA, the fucking isolated power, the BABIP, all rank like bottom 5% in baseball, bottom 3% in baseball. I think Nicky Lopez is the only guy that has less barrel percentage than Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, and that's saying something. So, like, this team needs a spark. The minor league star prospects are literally chopping at the bit for it. And if we don't get a call up here and an announcement that they're coming to Seattle with us, I am kind of losing hope for this. Because at this point, if it's literally August 18th is when you can get an extra year of service time, which also doesn't make sense to me because it's like you're already getting 6 years of service time. Why is it that important to you? But if they don't call them up by then, that we're not seeing them until next year. We may never even see Oswald Peraza play a game for us because we may try to move him in the offseason. But then again, we may try to move Glaber in the offseason, even though he had 3 hits today. Everyone's still coming for Glaber's throat. And yet IKF gets to dance through the rain.
So this is how I'll end this episode. And the end of this episode, I will say on August 18th or August 19th, whatever day they're allowed to bring it up to get extra service time, IKF needs to shift to the hot corner, and Peraza needs to play shortstop.
And Donaldson needs to be sent down like to fucking coach AAA kids.
He needs to go to the gulag, okay? So
he needs to go to the gulag.
He's got to fight his way out of the gulag to get another chance on this team, straight up. Because, look, the reality is that IKF, he shouldn't be getting at bats, and we have to play IKF. Unless you want to put DJ at third and you want to play Glaber.
Why do we have to play IKF?
Well, okay, you only have to play IKF if there's another infielder injured, and Rizzo's been out with a lower back injury. DJ, of course, he needs days off at some point. He's been playing every day.
I'm just waiting for the announcement that Rizzo's been placed on the IL.
I know that would be awful. I think it's more of a maintenance thing. But I'll tell you what, my ideal lineup right now on August 19th, when they have that extra service time year, is specifically. It's Peraza at shortstop. It is It's DJ at third. It's Glaber at second and Rizzo at first. That's my ideal.
100%. That's what it's got to be. If they want to win games and they truly are committed to winning a ring this year and believe they can, they cannot with IKF at shortstop. Like, I'm sorry. I know I harp on it and it's beating a dead horse at this point. But when you have a guy that literally is bottom, he's like ranked 33rd for shortstops in like F4. 33rd. There's 32 teams, or there's 29 teams, 30 teams. I'm fucking stupid right now. Either way, the fact that he's like ranked lower than bench guys should tell you that he's not a starting quality shortstop. Marwin has almost the same F WAR. and Marwin is awful. So like that, when those are the two shortstops we're running out, it just makes me mad. As you can tell, we've ranted a lot in this episode. This has been probably one of the least enjoyable Fireside Yankees episodes we've had to do because this team is just in a rut. No other way to put it. I mean, I know the great teams have their poor stretches. It's baseball, 162 game season. We're in August. I get it. But I also don't get why we're continuing to ignore the problems and glossing over the problems and trying to make them into good things. Like, why are we all of a sudden, like the whole team today, we hit 3 doubles in the home run out of 15 hits. You don't win ball games by doing that. The Cardinals hit 2 home runs. They won. We didn't hit a home run the entire weekend. Except for DJ.
Until DJ.
DJ home run, I don't really count the DJ home run. Like, you know.
Yeah, that was like a more of a, I just want to get something on the board.
It's like a consolation home run. And it's awesome a consolation prize. Thank God it happened to DJ and they didn't pinch hit IKF. And that's when he hit his first home run because no Yankee Twitter would not have shut up about that like IKF. Granted, the smart side of Yankee Twitter do not. But I don't know, Alex. My biggest thing from today's game, and I guess kind of circling back to Montas, is that it is nice to at least see a guy out there that I know in October I can trust. Like Frankie Montas, looking just at his stuff today, gives me plenty of belief that he's going to be able to get the job done for this team. And if we have a game against the Astros in the ALCS, and it is Verlander Cole game 1 and Framber Valdez versus Frankie Montas game 2, I'm putting all my chips on Frankie.
Yeah, and look, there are only a select few players on this team that need to continue what they're doing, and everyone needs to step up. Aaron Judge and DJ LeMahieu are the only 2 players that right now
from anything.
are exempt.
Mark's pretty good too still.
Yeah, and Mark. Those 3 guys, and Rizzo when he's healthy. Rizzo too. I love Rizzo.
Because Rizzo was finding his groove a little bit following the All-Star break too.
Even Glaber,
until he had the back spasms again.
Even Glaber, I'm okay with right now. There's those select 4 or 5 guys that they're exempt. Everybody else sucks right now, so
it's just
they need to step it up. Montas, I give him 1 game to shake off the rust after a couple weeks not pitching, coming off a death in the family. But moving forward, we have to see better.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think we will. But you know, guys, I'd love to hear perspectives below in the YouTube comments. Your thoughts on this Yankee team, your thoughts on Montas, your thoughts on the pitching, the bullpen, you know, the infield, Donaldson, IKF, you know, there's so many things to go through. I'd love to hear perspectives as always, my friends.
It's a crazy time to be a Yankee fan, especially after the deadline, where I genuinely believe we improved the team. But since the deadline, we have not won a game. That's a bit not fun.
We're in a polarizing situation right now where, you know, we're trying to figure out a way through a cold streak. And I think if we can get through it, I think we will.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of games left to play. We'll be okay. But, you know, guys, right now we deserve a little bit of ranting time. So tomorrow we'll cover a little bit more. We'll talk about maybe IKF's numbers and Peraza and why that is justified, and maybe our ideal infield moving forward.
The shortest episode ever. You just side by side, and anyone that says IKF still should not be allowed to watch baseball.
The numbers, we'll break down the numbers to you guys. If you are on the fence about it, you have an idea of what we're looking at and the numbers. That way you can also either change your opinion or stay strong with yours. Either way, it's fine. It's baseball at the end of the day. So hopefully you guys appreciate that. And hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Little ranting, little fun, definitely anger, a lot of bleach, a little bit of alcohol to go with it. You know, good mixture, may pass out, may survive. We'll
say the best types of cocktails are the ones where you don't know if you're going to wake up the next morning.
Or at all after that.
Or at all. Yeah. Or
at all.
I mean, hopefully, what if the last 24 hours are just a fever dream, kind of like cap it off?
I would be
like, what if Ron never really got sent down? We never even fucking went to St. Louis. Montgomery's still a Yankee. Like, this whole last week just didn't exist.
That would be a crazy dream.
It would be awesome. I mean, that's life. There's multiple dimensions out there, and you know it, Alex.
Yeah. Shit, man. If you watch Interstellar, you pretty much have to agree with that. So
why IKF shouldn't be in not only our galaxy, but the other existing galaxies.
I mean, there's probably variations of IKF that are better.
Yeah, there's got to be at least one that can hit a home run.
There's one. The one that happened last year, the version of him last year.
Yeah, he hit like 8 last year. How in the world that happened, I have no idea. And the one that he almost hit this year was like
juiced
to the wall against Emmanuel Clase. Like, what?
Ooh, I don't know. I don't understand it. But guys, I hope you enjoyed this Fireside Yankees episode, breaking down multiple things. Definitely a fun one. I know you guys didn't enjoy the game, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this little post-game show that we put together for you. We'll be back at it tomorrow. As always, make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode.